Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the HollingsWorthless podcast. This will be for Wednesday, December 9th, 2020 of our Lord. As always, I'm your host, Big Irish J. Hollingsworth, and we have the usual suspects, a.k.a. the crew, a.k.a. the Hooligoons, a.k.a. Sean the Mechanable McCann.
Really happy to be here.
The Coco co-host, Manulus Rojas Martin.
Yes.
Yeah, a finger point's not going to do much for people listening. Thanks, Manny. And as always, we have the mass clot, aka Phil Hellmuth, aka Jonah Phil, aka you got a new
AKA Rumple Phil Skin.
Oh, Rumple Foreskin. Phil Fox like the animal, and Phil sporting the fresh fade today.
Yo, what's up? It's called a mid fade. You know, I had him go a little bit lower this time. Looking fresh.
Ooh,
Fresh
very
to-
special.
Feeling fresh.
Looking fresh, feeling fresh.
Feeling so fresh and so clean.
Oh man, we got so many dope things to go over.
It's a packed episode, huh, Jay?
Dude, my most
Packed,
excited one I'm most excited about is Manny's improv, but we'll get to that in a sec. Manny, you mentioned on our teaser was on the last one, you mentioned your Indian food family experience, Ice Cube to asshole.
Ooh. God damn, that takes me back. So when I was when I was 22, I had just moved out of my dad's girlfriend's house because, like, for those of you who don't know, my dad, my senior year, he was like, I'm bouncing. Like after I graduated, he was like, I'm bouncing. I'm moving in with this other chick. Good luck. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right. So I stayed. So I thought we were gonna get our own place. We didn't. So I was staying with his ex-girlfriend who I knew for like a long time. So anyway, she started to get weird, and then I moved out and I moved in with some neighbors that I was really good friends with. They were an Indian family, and I went to high school with their kid. And all I remember is the first week that I ate the food there, I was like, oh, this is so good, but it's spicy as shit, right? Then I didn't know when it came full circle that my ass didn't digest the peppers. You know what I mean? So I was shitting fire, and like my asshole was swollen. And
What?
Yeah. Literally, I went down to the kitchen.
I thought you were gonna say you went to the hospital.
Yeah, no. So I probably should have, in retrospect. But I went down to nobody was up. I went down to the kitchen, grabbed an ice cube out of the tray, also grabbed a glass of milk, and I wiped my ass with milk and an ice cube.
What's funny is he ate the ice cube. He tried to shove the glass of milk up his ass.
I like where you went better. I was gonna say he put the ice cube back.
Dude,
I was gonna say he was like, fuck the Indian food. Fuck the Indian food. Like, you know, fuck the police. Fuck the police. Because it was an ice cube.
Ah, okay.
Wow, that was
man.
a long drive, dude. I almost
yeah.
ran out of gas.
You got us there though. We had to push the car there, but we got there. Because I was like, I'm trying to connect the dots.
Yeah.
The ice cube. Finally, I got it. All right.
Nice, Phil.
I guess it plays.
you.
Sean approves.
Yeah.
Barely.
Rarely.
Did anybody catch you when this was happening, Manny?
No. So all I remember is after that thinking, you know what? I really respect that they're like sharing their food with me, but I'm just gonna buy my own food from here on out because that shit was so spicy. It literally, like, I do okay with spicy food, but it's a lot like your joke where it's just like I'm in the bathroom for hours.
Yeah.
Man.
Was this is like a whole family, mom, dad, all that?
Mom, dad, sister was off at college, but she was living at home. And then the son was going to community college with me at the time.
Was the dad upset that you had to pull his dick out before you put the ice cubes there? Sean knew it was going that. All right, let's get to this. We have a bunch of shit that is pretty cool stuff on here. But before we get to the cool stuff, let's talk about Manny's improv.
God damn it.
Dude, okay, so let me set the backstory for those that don't know. Manny's been taking an online improv class. He's doing it with a friend of his, and just so you know, he was in the improv class, and at one point he, in the moment he said the word Biz Naps, like tell that little Biz Natch, talking about a kid, right?
Yeah. It wasn't even a kid. Nobody was playing the person. It was just a pretend neighbor that I called Biznatch, and
which is the most PG, like, way you could say a curse word.
exactly.
And
It wasn't like you were like, tell that little Kisnunt.
So all I remember is like at the end of like, this. So I said it early in the improv, and then it's like 2 hours later, and we're having a group meeting at the end of the thing, and they're like, so we just want to talk about words that we use and the power behind them. And I was just like, who said? Like in my head, I'm like, who said nigga? You know?
Was I not here yet?
So in the back of my head, I'm just like, okay, I don't think any of them said something. I'm like, did I say it? Did I say something? And then so later, somebody texted me. It was actually our leader, and he was like, hey, I just want to let improv group leader.
Yeah.
And he's like, I let you know. He's like, we all
called a troop.
Yeah, there you go, the troop leader. And I was just like, he was like, we all make the mistake, sometime of saying things where you get caught in the moment. And I was like, oh fuck, it was me. And so my best friend, little sister, one of my friends, she's the one in the improv thing that I'm really doing it with. And she called me. She was like, fuck all that noise. She was like, Biznatch is nothing. She was like, don't even worry about the shit. And so, like, long story short, like, they actually moved the girl who was complaining about it onto another team because they were like, Manny's had the best of intentions. Like, if you're literally looking to see that he has the worst of intentions behind words or what he's doing, then, I don't think you should probably be on this, this team.
You should message her and say, bye, Biznatch.
Hey, Manny, you're in the Northwest at this moment, and the Northwest has a couple great improv schools, and this is from what it looked like kind of another comedy conclave of people.
Yep.
And so the question I have is, you said it's a class, so that refers to a teacher of some sort. Is this teacher of this improv a reputable character in the improv
They're not going to
world
listen
in the
to this,
Northwest?
Right? I hope not. But like, in all honesty, I think he's taken quite a few classes. I mean, he's really knowledgeable. Like, to be completely fair, when asking for any like notes or feedback, he's like, always feel like you're pushing the scene forward with something. If you feel stuck, don't be afraid to call somebody else in. So I mean, he has great advice. It's just I'm not an improv person. I don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, is this a self-appointed person that's like, I'm a teacher of improv now, or was this somebody that's from one of those other schools? Like, we have the Jet City Improv and whatever the other one is.
Yeah, I think his was back.
Unexpected Productions.
Yeah. I think he was back on the East Coast, like maybe like a New York. Like, actually went to school for it. So he's
okay.
Same thing with my friend. But yeah, it's just like Sean, I wish you could have seen it, man. Like, just knowing Phil and Jay were watching this shit was the worst.
Oh, no. I was there.
Fuck.
Oh, no. I was there, man. I'm ready. As soon as I hear a pause, I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah. So,
all right.
And I'll let you guys jump in here. I just wanted to set the scene. So the reason I tell all that backstory of the Biznatch thing is so, one, you understand kind of what Manny's in, and then two, so Manny, we hit him up. It was at 7:00, right?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna tell you guys.
Yeah, exactly, you motherfucker. And he kept leading up with like, I'll let everybody know, blah blah blah. So I fucking at 7:00, I was like, yo, Holmes, where's the link?
Yep, that's when I saw it.
So he sends us the link. I go there, and there's two. It starts off, and there's a white guy, white girl talking, and I didn't know that was the show at that point, that I was coming into the show already started. They were talking about like, yeah, and then I dated this one girl. I was like, I thought it was like a green room before the show, and they were just making small talk before the show started. And also,
I was curious, were they actors, or were they just or were they on an authentic date?
Yeah, authentic date. So basically the concept, and I think that maybe they could do a little bit better of a job explaining exactly what it is. But actually, if you listen in, Annie does a thing of like, now we're gonna watch the date that these people went on. So you may have missed that part, but yeah, it's two people that get set up on a blind date, and they're just trying to get to know each other. And then, like, for instance, the first show we did, these people went on actually ended up going on another date because of the first date. So
Wait, okay, want to make sure I'm
For real?
confused. This was a real date?
it was a real date, 100% real.
Okay, these weren't improvers improving a date.
No, so this was so this those two people you saw at first were a real date, and then we were improving off of them. I mean, I think the one guy was in theater or something like that, so they may have been in improv at some point in their lives, but they didn't have anything to do with our group.
Oh,
But
did they even know that they were? Did you just fucking log into Match and watch somebody's Zoom date?
no, they knew that they were being recorded and that we were going to improv off of their date. So
Okay,
Yeah.
so I get into the room and then I asked Manny, I was like, what the fuck when's the show start? And he's like, oh no, it's already started. This is part of it. And
Yeah.
so then I immediately put in the chat for everybody to see, I put, when's this Biz Naps going? Get going.
So just to be real with you, my class is probably in an hour, and I'm just waiting for them to be like, so I just noticed in the comments, that somebody wrote business. So what happens here stays here, guys. Let's not talk about stuff on the out.
Oh God.
Oh, fuck. I hope they have a talking to
Gangster.
with you.
Also, I was curious, Manny. So you could see how many people were watching, because it's on
Facebook.
Zoom or Facebook Live, and so it looked like there was a decent amount of people watching. But my question is
How many were there, Phil? I
There's
honestly
24.
don't know.
there was 24, but
Okay, all right.
but so out of those 24 though, were some of those numbers like you guys, the actors?
No. So we don't. Well, at least not that I know of. I know that. Oh, clearly there were 3 of you guys, and then there were. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they were friends of the people that are like, "Hey, I'm doing this blind date." Here's the thing. I think if they were to give me the advertisement a little earlier, I could have put it out there. I wouldn't have been afraid to advertise it.
Well, the reason I ask is because I just, I didn't know if it was going to be like a comic, like open mic where the audience is just full of comics. So I thought maybe all you guys were separately on your computers at home, and that added into the number watching. And it's like, oh, look, we got 24 people, but 15 of those are us improvisers.
And for all, no, it could.
I said that weird.
The interesting thing, I bet you they were from other classes, tuning in. I mean, that's the thing is like, if you don't get your advertisement out early enough, I don't think that you're going to have the viewership that you really want. So
The one lady you kicked, she's in there just fucking hating you. Like, yeah, fucking piece of shit. And I know you're about to jump in, Sean. I just was going to say, so we watched this date for how long were we watching the date for? Like 30 minutes?
But we didn't watch anything though. Make that clear. It's audio. It was just an audio
before
track.
That
The date
we
was-
watched the date. Before that, there was 2
Oh,
white.
I didn't see the date. I just
Okay,
saw the
yeah.
orange screen. That's when I came in.
Yeah. So
Like
that's what I'm
7:05.
getting get to. So yeah,
Yeah.
there was just 2 people. It was like this. If you're watching this, imagine just 2 blocks though, a guy and a girl, and what was that date like? And she was nice. And you're like, I was like, what the fuck am I watching here? And then. And I was messaging Manny. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, oh no, we're on in a little bit. So Manny finally comes on with his crew, and he's texting us through this whole thing. He's like, God damn it, I don't want to say shit. I fucking hate that you guys are watching this. And what we're watching, like Sean said, is it's just a screen that says like, oh, this is the improv group, and it's like you have to envision it like an old time radio show, I guess, and everything's going to be audible. And what were you going to say, Sean?
I was gonna say, dude, it was like when I came in. So me and Manny right now. Hey, Manny, you and I, let's do an improv real quick. Where you start, and then I'll go, and let's make it. Phil,
Okay,
give us a.
I'll say boarding an
DMV.
airplane. Boarding an airplane.
Okay, boarding an airplane.
Okay, yeah, board. Oh, good. Boarding an airplane. Okay, you start.
Okay, and hello, Mr. McCann. We're happy to have you on Flying Economy today. How are you?
I'm doing really well, and I'm glad you asked that because so look, it's when I woke up, I didn't feel that great, but later when I started getting the day going, I was like, okay, well this seems right. But then I don't know, I felt like, and then so there was this door, it's been creaking, and WD-40 is out in the garage, but I figured let's look, and you're like, oh my God, bro, you're just puking right now. Like, dude, stop talking. Stop talking, you. And I didn't know when it was going to end. And you could tell this guy was just grasping for some kind of like rung on the ladder that wouldn't collapse below him when it would have just been like, I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. And just being cool with it.
Yeah.
By the way, just to backtrack just a bit. So during the date, if that's an authentic first date, by the way, I have no idea who goes on a first date in like a bathrobe, shirtless underneath. Like this dude was just chilling there with like no shirt on, just thinking he was like Rico Suave, and I'm like, dude, like what the, like what is this?
Oh man, yeah, I'll take a picture. I'll screen cap it for you, Sean, and I'll send you what he looked like.
And
I'd
the
love
other
to see
thing,
that. Yeah.
the other
Put
thing
it in
I
the
noticed-
comments in the podcast.
I don't want to shame this guy, but I'll I'll definitely show Sean.
What's
But-
he gonna do? Cut off your improv classes?
He's gonna talk to him later after the show.
Yeah,
You're gonna give him the
gonna wanna have a-
HollingsWorthless bump.
Nah, hey, look, I'm sure he's a nice guy. We don't know him, so it's easy to make fun of him. It's just like, dude, man, I don't know, relax, bro. Be comfortable in yourself. Just like shut up.
Well, dude, the thing as comics, the thing I told Manny, because I talked to Manny right after it was over, and I was like, people like Manny wasn't, but the other people on there were dying laughing at like stuff that I'm like, what's the fun? What are you laughing at? I don't understand what it's funny. I don't know if it was like a nervous laugh or what. The funniest shit was when Manny fucking had a gem in there where they were talking about like some dude worked in an office or something and he didn't have arms or legs or something.
Yeah, he was missing one arm from an accident, and then he was this workhorse at the CEO company doing everything. And I was like, I literally looked at him and I was like, Mr. Nelson, like, I know your arm's paralyzed and I know you're trying to do this work, but unless you can type with your dick, that shit ain't getting done.
That was the highlight of that whole fucking thing. And
Laugh, Sean. Nobody laughed. It was
Now, Manny, words carry meaning.
yeah. And we didn't tell you the gender of this boss. Pronouns matter.
It's just like, dude, we're just trying to have fun. It's an improv class.
yeah, it's I think that's the hardest thing, man, is that as comics, we've seen the best. We've seen the best of everything, right? It's like, Sean, you've booked the best shows, like, you've seen the upper echelon of what comedy is.
My God.
Where there's no dull moments, right? And it's like, Phil, Jay, you guys know what it's like to be in that pocket where it's like you don't even have to say anything and people are just laughing. So
we're all looking at the picture of the dude.
Bro, like, look,
He
I
looks
heard.
he looks like a
Manny, but-
fucking a magician.
I mean, dude, he's yeah. I wish he'd disappear that head of hair, dude. He has nicer hair than the broad he's talking to.
Yeah, the picture I'm putting. If you're watching this, I'm showing the picture right here. Oh God, he looks like fucking Doug Henning.
He look
The power of illusion.
I love
You know
that.
what,
You know
though?
who Doug
Your
Henning
pennies,
is, Jay?
your pennies are disappearing. The power of illusion.
Hey, but dude,
Doug
he's
Henning is
owning,
such a deep cut, by the way.
he's owning this though. Come on, dude. He's got that hair waved to make it come out like that. You have to do a thing. He's got a mustache and that robe. Like, he's doing this. I take it back. I like this guy.
Well, and now in his defense, I mean, she's in a fucking t-shirt and
She didn't give a shit.
Yeah, so were
Try,
these guys?
lady.
I think this
Were
is
they
like
told
the,
this date was happening like 2 minutes before they went live?
All right.
This is I think this is a reverse Twitter, a new app. You both swipe right on each other and you match.
nobody
Reverse Twitter.
nobody
Yeah.
tagged me. Nobody tagged me.
Tinder?
Nobody
Yeah.
tagged me in the post for this.
Reverse Tinder.
Oh my God. But it's like, in all fairness, like I bet these guys are dope at, like, when it comes to improv on stage, and it's
Sure.
like,
Who, these two people?
no, the group.
Oh,
But-
okay, gotcha.
I mean, they're so much better than I am at improv. I'm not gonna pretend.
Are they, Manny? Very nice. This is fucking PC Manny appearing on the HollingsWorthless. You wanna PC it up?
We just want to say that all jokes matter, Jay. All jokes.
All right. So I'm piggybacking off this. When I was talking to Manny, he's like, man, I hate that you guys saw me basically at my most embarrassing this and that. And I said to him, I was like, dude, Phil has seen me at probably my most embarrassing when I had to kiss that dude for Two Broke Girls. Phil was at the live taping.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Dude, and I remember I had hit him up and I was like, hey, if you want tickets, I can get you tickets to this. And he was like, oh, hell yes. And I pretty distinctly remember hearing you, Phil, right after we filmed the first cut or first take or whatever, you being like, oh my God, from the audience. and then I remember we took a break and I went over to you and your eyes were like, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I wanted to know what was going through your head, Phil, as I was going through that.
I was like, gay.
PC Manny.
Say here on the HollingsWorthless podcast that we love people of all walks of life. If you are from the LGBTQ plus community, we enjoy you listening and just everything that you guys do in life. Keep the power, keep marching on, and we will be right behind you, supporting you.
Manny, I can say that, Manny. I've sucked a dick.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you can call me a faggot if you want. I mean, technically.
Whoa,
No, Manny.
Jay,
Here on the HollingsWorthless podcast, that the only time we will use that word is if we're talking about a pile of sticks, and that's probably what I was talking about in that moment. Back to you, Jay.
No, I just thought it was hilarious. I was like, you're not homophobic or anything, but I mean, talk about pushing yourself to the edge of your comfort zone, and so I was like, oh, I gotta see this. And so I got to the taping, and when the moment happened, I was just like a giddy little schoolgirl. I was like, yes, it's gonna happen. I can hold this over him. Finally something.
Dude, the most uncomfortable part was that we had to stop.
Wait, let me ask this. Was Jay really rubbing the dude's nipple and just doing weird shit, or like?
Oh man, he I mean, in all, whatever you want to call it, like Jay was great because he went for it. He went over the top. He was, if you ask me, like, he gave them.
I'm like, hey, can this be like the behind the scenes?
Well, you know what I mean? Like, you were trying to give them a lot to work with, which was really, really funny. You were just like looking at him so lovingly, and I think you were rubbing his belly at one time and his nipple, and it was just funny. It was like, oh wow, like Jay can fall in love.
Oh, God.
Even if it is with a guy.
I don't know if you remember this, Phil. So the director was I forget his name, but he's co-creator of Two Broke Girls and co-creator of Sex and the City. Patrick something.
Patrick
King
Michael
or,
King.
Yes,
Patrick Michael King. Yeah.
And he's gay. He's openly gay, and he was directing the episode. At one point, he gets on the loudspeaker and says to me, but audibly where everybody can hear, he goes, hey Jay, you don't need to fondle him.
Yeah. He was like, dial it back, buddy.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, that was a crazy whirlwind. What?
I feel like we've all now seen each other's like, well, okay, I've seen, I've seen Phil Bomb, so I've witnessed his like.
You mean you've seen me on stage?
He's seen your act.
I don't think we've ever seen Sean in his like lowest moment. Sean's always.
Oh,
like,
I have.
Oh,
yeah.
But it's not really something we can laugh at now. Like all our shit is like comedy or on the stage related, where you be like, oh man, that was crazy. Sean's lowest shit is like, yeah, I have 3 pieces of bread to last me for 2 months.
So
Can I just
that
say,
shit is funny.
Can I just say, all right, R.I.P. 1 minute comic.
oh my God, that is a low moment, isn't it? I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, that's one of my like professional low moments for sure.
Dude, and it was such a genius idea. Anyways, we'll do something else that'll be bigger than life. Fuck the people.
Hell yeah, dude. Those
Fucking
fucking
Sean,
vultures.
just a tear.
Seriously.
Arms of an angel.
Just talk about that for a minute. Like, that was my first introduction into like really some cool shit. And just to see you go on stage, I mean, at the Underground and all these like great interviews, and I'm like, fuck, man, just so genius. But
Just despite that, Manny, I mean, he's still getting booked every week.
fuck
You know what I mean? See?
killing it.
Yeah. Dude, that was such a fun time. And the cool thing about it too was like it was a great idea, and then the execution of it, like it was actually happening,
Yeah.
getting amazing comedians.
Do you
I
want to
mean,
talk about it a little for a second, like what the premise is and everything, or no? In
yeah,
case
yeah, I'll do
someone's
it.
ever
Yeah,
seen
no,
All right.
just super quick. So, because plus it memorializes it. Well, it's in the it's copywritten too. But so it's about it's a documentary. It's a full length feature documentary about that was the intent, about a comedian named Rob Sampson, and he was a headlining comic known by many. He was a comics comic, and he had a 60-second headlining act. So the way it would work is like, if you don't know, so there's like the opener, feature, headliner, and so the opener comes out and do 5-7, feature will come out and do 12, 17, whatever, 15,
Minutes.
and then you got your uh, headliner comes out and generally does an hour. I mean, it fluctuates, but generally does an hour. This guy would come out at the end and he would do 60 seconds and he'd destroy. Never did another 60 seconds. He always did a different bit. Came up with the Aristocrats joke, which became a big movie. And so we had all these comics on there that were talking about him and their experiences with him. Everybody from Kevin Nealon and Bill Burr and I mean,
Kevin Pollak,
Kevin Paul, yeah, Gilbert Gottfried,
Gary Goldman.
If I remember
yeah,
correctly,
Goldman.
Chappelle at one point, right?
Tried. We
Yep.
had him and Sarah Silverman at the Comedy Store in the back there, and we were trying to convince him
Yeah.
it didn't work.
And it's still up on YouTube, the trailer, right?
It is, yeah,
If
yeah.
people want to go look at it, what would they search? Just 1 minute comic, Rob Sampson?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's it.
Ah.
Yeah, it was fun, man. But then there's a whole story as to why it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And I'll just tease it, and we'll talk later. Here, I'll tease it with this: that one day I got on Twitter and saw that the movie was releasing on Netflix, on Amazon and Netflix. Is that what it said? Amazon and it was Amazon and something by Comedy Dynamics, and that it was going to launch like in 3 days on a Friday, and that's the day I called the lawyer.
Yep.
So because it wasn't me that was launching it.
Damn.
Yeah. And there's a whole. Maybe you should do a documentary on that.
Yeah, really, huh?
That's like. Do you guys know about? Man, I can't. I'll look up the name.
There was I don't know if this is the same movie that you're going to talk about, Jay, but there was this I think it's a Asian chick, and she made this movie, and it was amazing, and the dude that was helping her direct and everything like that basically stole the footage, and she eventually ended up recovering some of the footage, but all of the audio was taken. And so this whole documentary is basically about this story, because the story it was just unbelievable, and she ended up using a lot of the footage from the movie in the documentary, and they would just voiceover talk about it, and even to this day she can't get a hold of the dude or recover the audio. And I mean, it was supposedly this really cool piece of film, because it was recorded out in I can't remember the country, but it basically was a time capsule of what was going on in that country at the time. And so it's really crazy. I can't remember the name of it, but it was really
that
really good.
that wasn't what I was gonna say. But actually, that does sound interesting though, for real. What you don't know what the name of it was?
I'll have to look it up. I believe it's on Netflix still.
Google it right now while I'll tell you what I was going to talk about. So you guys know the movie Boondock Saints, right?
Yep.
So do you know about the documentary behind that?
Oh, so good. Yeah.
So there's the movie Boondock Saints was this guy, Patrick Duffy, I think his name was. And he was like, it was this, what was it?
Tim
Duffy?
Yeah, Patrick Duffy is who plays on Dallas back in the day.
Okay.
Had Patrick Duffy for an arm.
Okay. So he had this movie Boondock Saints, and it was like this crazy story how he was going to be the next Quentin Tarantino, and part of his agreement of getting this movie signed was they gave him this local bar that he hung out with that he loved. He had a band, and they were on the soundtrack, all this stuff. Well,
Harvey
Weinstein was involved. That's right.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So the movie came out, and it was kind of like an underground hit, but didn't have like a lot of commercial success. But a documentary came out called Overnight about the Troy Duffy. That's his name. Troy Duffy.
Troy, damn it.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. That came out about the whole background of this. And it came out like the guy was like a fucking cock. Like he they were talking to him about having Brad Pitt in the movie. And I think it was the Brad Pitt part. And he's like on the phone. This fucking first time director is just like, nah, man, fuck that. I don't want that guy. I saw him in this. I don't want him. You're like, who the fuck are you? Like, and it's a crazy documentary. Overnight is the name of it. And did you find the name of yours, Phil?
Yeah, so it's called Shirkers, Shirkers. Yeah, it's in 1992, a teenager, Sandy Tan, shoots Singapore. It was Singapore's first road movie, their first one, with her enigmatic American mentor, Georges, who then absconded with all of the footage, took off with it. And the 16 millimeter film, she recovered it 20 years later, sending her, who's now a novelist in LA, on a personal odyssey, trying to find this dude and following his footprints to try to,
wow,
figure out what the hell happened. It's
it wasn't
really
detached
crazy
from the video. It was just audio and video were separate then.
Yeah, and it was fucked. But
That
it was
sucks.
the first movie that was going to come out of Singapore. So
man.
I don't know if you saw, there's another monolith. I did a daily video on it today about the monoliths that we've all seen. There's now been 8.
Huh.
I am actually, it might even be 9 because somebody commented on my video. There was another one in West Virginia, but there's been California, Colorado, Vegas, in Europe, it's called the Isle of Wight. The Netherlands had one, Colombia. So I posted the video today about it, and I'm like, what is it? Is it an art thing? Is it aliens? Is it a government cover up between the different governments for us to forget about COVID? What is it? And this guy, so I wanted to get your thoughts, what you think the fuck is going on, because I was like, if it's like a prank or an art project, that takes a lot of coordination and money across the world.
Right.
Or is it like a fucking, one person said, I think it's an ad for a cologne or something. But this one dude commented, he said, because I said in the video, I love conspiracy theories, whether I believe them or buy into them, I always love a good conspiracy theory. And this guy mentioned, at first he was like, I don't want to say, but I was like, no, please do. Have any of you guys heard of Project, Sean, listen to this name, Project Bluebeam?
Project Blue. Oh yeah, I have. This gets brought up at Bluebeam. Yeah.
Okay. Have you, Manny or Phil?
No.
So
I mean, that's what I call my dick.
Wait, hold on. Why?
Yeah. Well, because it's I eat a lot of blueberries.
Before you explain, I'm gonna go on record now. I think Phil's gonna pull this out. I don't think he is. Not his dick, but I think he's gonna pull out this definition. I think he's gonna bring it around. Let's see.
I eat a lot of blueberries, and so they say when you eat like asparagus, it makes your pea green, but I eat blueberries, and so when I come on these bitches, it turns my cum blue, turning into a blue beam right on our face. You know what I'm saying?
See what I mean, dude? You get what I'm saying, Jay?
I guess I was wrong.
That was one he couldn't pull out. Yeah. But go ahead.
So
wait. I just have to say, Phil, I was rooting for you so hard on that one. God.
And I believe that.
But it was gonna be like a Smurf joke. It was like Papa Smurf up in this bitch. Or
oh, that's
we were
funny.
all rooting
That's
for
funny.
you, Phil. We were all.
Is that what it took?
Why don't you just do that? That was funny.
Well, this guy said I'll actually read what he said about Project Bluebeam, and then I looked it up. And it's like it's a conspiracy theory. Let me get it because I want to make sure I quote him correctly. Username is, goddamn, there's a whole bunch of fucking comments already on this. I think it's
well, while you look that up, I'll tell you what I think it is.
Well, do you know what Project Bluebeam is? Bluebeam, it's Chris Michael's Nope. Here's what it is really quick. What he says, Bluebeam. So have you heard of the theory of Project Bluebeam? Basically, it's that the government would stage an alien invasion to accomplish a one world government, because nobody would listen to the government if they said, quote, all right, everyone, we're a one world government now, end quote. Instead, they'd pose a larger threat, the aliens, quote, and we'd all listen. Don't forget, in the beginning of the year, the government said they'd be telling us information they knew about aliens.
Is this a fan of the show?
Yes.
I think it's a great point. I think I respect his point of view, and I hear
Is this
him.
PC Sean making an appearance?
No, it's me about to set up what I'm about to come back with.
Yes.
So I've been looking for it since you've been talking here, and I can't seem to find it. But I just read a thing yesterday, the day before, about the here it is right here. Boom. Good way to. So there's a guy who I can't find right here, but I can remember some of it. So there's this guy who like is known for changing here in LA. Like he went up to Hollywood sign and changed to like Hollyweed maybe or something.
Yes.
Like, do you remember that?
Yes.
So they say it's him, and there's this other group, and they're called the something artist. It's like the Amazing Artist, I think, is what this group calls themselves. So not the Amazing Artists, but just singular.
Okay.
And they're claiming to be the ones who've done it. So I watched their video, and they have more videos come out, but I've seen them actually. They've got these monolith metal things laying down on these kind of wagons at their house where they're polishing them up so you can watch them polish it. And then they're claiming responsibility, them and that guy who puts up like fake movie posters around town here, does the Hollyweed thing, but they say that I can't remember his name now, but he's a part of it too.
I don't know if this is who you're thinking of, because this is what I was going to say. I think it could be Banksy, baby. Banksy, baby. The street graffiti artist.
Sean just, nah.
That's not it.
Banksy's back, baby.
Like,
he doesn't work in that medium.
I do believe that I do believe UFOs exist. You know what I mean? There's too many worlds. The universe is too vast for there to be nothing else, right? But my thing is, you know, for a world government, like just for there to be one world government, it's not plausible. We can't even agree on fucking trade agreements, you know, of like, you know, of how we want to sell peas to another country, you know. So I don't think that. I think it would be a lot easier.
I know you try and appease them, and it just nothing happens.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. You're always trying to appease people. I think that's a great point. Yeah. Good point.
But I'll say this: I think it's a lot easier. That was a horrible joke, Jay. I hate you so much.
Oh, there was a joke? I thought we were just having a conversation.
I think it's so much easier to be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna pay somebody. Let me ship this over here. We can all be in on this thing. I mean, it's hard to get people not to talk, but I think it would be easy to put up 8 different monoliths. I mean, when I was looking closely at it, you could see like that there were screws in it. It didn't look alien at all.
Well, so here's my thing is, okay, so let's say it's this, what you're saying, Sean, it's this group. The first one was found in Utah, like just randomly, or are you saying that those pilots then are in on it? Because, okay, the pilots would be in on it.
Absolutely, because dude, it was even so far back in an area that people didn't even know there's no way to go back there unless you trounce your way through the vegetation. So why is it all of a sudden these people saw it, right? And they saw it not when it was getting put up. Nobody saw them coming in with it, just happened to be up. And what I don't love about it, dude, is it's called by the way, they are called, if anybody wants to look this up, come on, the most famous artist is what this group is called. Yeah. But anyways, so dude, you know how they're doing is they're like in Utah, they took this monolith thing up there, they chisel out the rock floor, and then they put this thing in. And look, I love going out, you know, we've talked about this. I have my Jeep. I go out into the hills and go trounce around in the, by the way, there they are on doing the monolith on a wagon, like making one.
Cool.
Okay. Or
if you're on video, you can see that.
Or did they do that afterwards to try and take credit?
No, they could.
But, yeah.
Absolutely. And they could.
No, yeah. That's one thing I love about like talking about this shit with you guys is because I think all of us are open-minded on any angle, you know, like
Except the alien part.
Well, I'm just saying. Are you telling me that aliens, this smart being, is paying attention to 1970s American film
Yeah.
in order to
Want us
have a sense of humor? You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's if you think that's what they're going for. But what if it's a marker of some site? Remember Independence Day, the movie?
Yes.
They the main
never saw
mothership came, then she put out 15 at all these major cities around the world.
No, like to me, I think if I'm gonna, and I try not to believe in conspiracy theories because somebody tried to tell me that Tom Hanks was the #1 pedophile in the world and that the government was like covering it up, and I was like, I just can't have this conversation right now.
Jesus.
I was like, he's the most wholesome dude in the world, but it's just like whatever. So my thing though,
Until it comes to kids.
Bravo.
Okay.
One a show. If we can just get one a show,
Oh
Phil.
man. Oh.
but
so
like,
good.
like the and I know this isn't real, but like the pyramids, like there's pyramids in
Wait. Hold on, Scoop. You don't think the pyramids are real?
No. I think they're real. But I love that they find pyramids in the different parts of the world. You know what I mean? And to me, it's believable that that possibly aliens could have helped them build it. Although I will say this, I don't think aliens did. I think that we don't give past civilizations enough credit for building shit.
Absolutely not, because they're still discovering how technologically advanced they were in their engineering.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still figuring shit out that they did and had that we didn't even know about. So yeah, I think there was past civilizations that were even more technologically advanced than we are now, and especially in how they went about constructing a lot of that stuff.
And just for the listeners out there, Sean threw his hands up, so I want to know what that
because I just jumped on it so hot.
Because he came in so hot, dude. Jesus. Like you're talking shit about it.
No, I was just fervently agreeing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you though. I don't think we give those past civilizations enough credit. Like
I think we give them enough credit, and probably more than they deserve.
Yeah, there was
curmudgeon.
There was actually one guy, and I think it was pre-World War I, that was able to turn deserts into like wet marshes, and they literally were like, "Oh, we need your materials for the war," so they just destroyed his shit, and then they used it for building whatever they needed to build, and then he died, and they didn't know how he did all this shit. So it's I mean, God, wouldn't it be nice to turn the Sahara or Iraq?
Hold on, Sean has the CIA knocking at his door right now.
No, I just heard for some reason the volume turned up on my TV for whatever reason.
They're
so
listening, bro.
Close encounter.
Yeah, it's a hoax, government.
it's on BuzzFeed right now too. So
What?
some ghost turned up the ghost BuzzFeed show. Great.
Quick question. Are you guys more likely to believe in aliens or ghosts?
Aliens, because they're real.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Well, I guess you would have to quantify what is your definition of a ghost. Like, is it energy, or is it like we think like Casper? Dude, I don't know if you heard this, Manny. I did a daily video on it about one theory about where the ghosts come from. Is it was actually like the sex thing. Yeah, kids hearing their parents having sex, asking about it, and the parents being like, "Oh, I didn't hear anything," and so they were saying, "Oh, it must have been a ghost," and then extrapolating that out, you think if somebody walks in on and you throw the covers over somebody, then that could be where you get the whole covers thing. But
did you ever get that, Phil? Did they ever tell you that one
about throwing what blankets over people?
Ghosts in the never mind.
Indian in the cupboard.
His family threw other sheets over their heads.
I was gonna say, from a theological standpoint too, like I think that aliens for sure could exist, because we don't know if like God, right, if he really does exist, then we have the Bible and our story of our earth, but the universe is so expansive and never ending. Who's to say that he didn't do the same project or experiment with another planet somewhere else, and they have their own Bible and I mean, parallel universes, man. I think they exist for sure.
By the way, do you think the Bible is the only book for Earth.
Well, what's interesting to me is that like the parallel okay, this is the last thing I'll nerd out on. Parallel universes, right? So in quantum mechanics, things can exist in two different states, right? So, it could be both a positive and a negative charge, which they have also theorized that for every decision that we make, we also didn't make, and that's what creates the multiverse. So it's like,
that's the one I live in. Is the one where everything goes to shit. Oh,
It makes sense now.
damn.
this podcast in another universe where it's like the 1 minute comic got us all famous.
Dude, I'm Kevin Hart, or no, you're Manny's Kevin Hart there. I'm fucking whoever, Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Bill is Carrot Top.
But I was gonna say Rodney Dangerfield at least.
I was actually gonna say Phil.
Yeah, dead sounds great.
I got an update on
asshole.
Wait, let's hear it. Let's hear your Dangerfield.
Asshole. I'm ugly, I tell you, I'm ugly. Even my dog closes his eyes when he humps my leg.
Jesus Christ. This one, Sean told me about this. I don't know if he knows the update. Forrest Fenn, Sean. Do you know that name?
Oh, I actually read about that today.
Forrest Fenn's treasure has been found. Sean, do you want to give a quick rundown of what this is about?
Yeah, so Forrest Fenn was this old school dude, and I think he lived in Colorado, millionaire, and so he wanted to do this cool thing. So he put like a chest, like a treasure chest together with all these gold and necklaces and jewelry and fine stones, and it all was about $1 million worth of stuff.
Shit.
And then he buried it somewhere. No, sorry. Then he put it somewhere and then made a map. Sorry, not a map. He made a poem that would take you there through each of the lines. It would get you to this place. And the thing you had to think of that he said as an extra piece was, it's not buried. It can be seen without moving stuff, and that he was able to get there at 80 years old. That was all part of it. And so this went on for, I think, 10 years, and people died looking for it.
Damn.
And it was a whole thing.
I think I read that they said that they think over 350,000 people had looked for it.
Including, by the way, BuzzFeed. They did a show on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Those two dudes, yeah.
Damn.
So there's new story to it, though, a new twist to it today.
Go ahead. You got it? You know it?
No, go ahead.
Oh.
Or did you read the title and you want me to tell you what happened?
I tried to skim it as quickly as I could because I saw it just before coming on here, and I got excited because I was like, oh, fuck, dude, I never knew about this till Sean told me about this thing. And I was like, and it's like a Raiders of the Lost Ark thing. So I'm like, it's so fucking cool.
And we'll tell you what happened right after these messages.
Two. Phil. So a guy found it, and he didn't want to come out as the person that found it.
So before you say what happened, though, just on the side of that.
You tell it.
Okay, well, so the important part is that we knew somebody found it, but they wouldn't say who it was, and he wanted to remain anonymous. So then the question started coming around, is it bullshit? Was he somehow a part of it? And then another thing came out where this person, because we didn't know who found it, but we all assumed it was a guy. But when we, sorry, go ahead, Manny.
Yeah. We want to say that here on the HollingsWorthless podcast, that both men and women are both very capable of doing anything that you put your mind to.
Quit laughing, Sean.
Sorry. Please, will you do something about that laugh too? I'm sorry.
That laugh was because of Manny's PC. That more directed PC Manny that will ever be women.
Oh no, everybody's freezing.
We're by his recording. Okay, I'm back. All right.
If a woman was recording the podcast, that wouldn't have happened to her.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yes, I just want to say, women, you guys run the world, and you guys are amazing, and thank you for bringing us into this world.
If a woman was doing this podcast, like if she had set it up for her boss or whatever, I'm sure she wouldn't have had any problem.
I see. This is where we all agree.
Okay.
So, so anyway, so here's the thing, though. So we didn't know if it was a dude or a chick, but we knew that there was this woman who had been looking for it for years, and she said that he hacked into her computer and got all of her information in order to find it. So there was that spin too.
Okay, just a clarification on this, because I thought I read that she put out this lawsuit before it was announced who this was, and I thought she had said that whoever finds this, they have stolen my notes. Like she put it out as a general. I believe that's what she's like. I have a running, basically, like I have this open running lawsuit for whoever discovers it, because if they discovered it, they had to have hacked my notes. So she's probably a nut job.
On that same note, by the way, just real quick, I have a joke about airplane food, a bit about it. So watch yourselves. You know, because that is mine, just in case I'm going to sue if I hear anybody do it.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah. So what happened is this guy, it ends up being a guy, and he is coming out now and telling everybody who he is because of this lawsuit, that it's going to be made public anyway. So he wants to come out and say who he is first. He says he's not doing any interviews. He won't do any TV shows after this. He just wants a normal life. That he had to move. He had to get to a building that is guarded, and all of his stuff is in another state in New Mexico in a safe somewhere until it's sold.
Yes.
So like, he's just trying to stay out of the public eye, but he's being forced into it now.
Yeah, he was saying that like you said, one of the reasons he wanted to remain anonymous is because he said that, you know, from talking to the family before it was discovered, the family, there's been kidnappings attempts, and, you know, threats and break-ins and all this shit. So he's like, I just want to avoid all that shit.
It's crazy.
That's a fucking dope little whole thing though, you know, like a scavenger hunt, and you know, it's so dope.
Think about it. Think about if you're out, because look, he wasn't some hiker or hunter and stumbled on it. So this guy, like, this was his thing, his focus. And then, you know, like, put yourself in that spot. All of a sudden you're going down some ravine, you see a tree, something's ringing true to that poem you read, like, oh shit. You look down and you're like, wait, is that it? Dude. And when you ask that, you have that moment. It's 10 feet away from you, dude. And is that it? And then as you get closer, your eyes start to, like, your brain processes what you're seeing and thinking is all real, and you actually found the treasure. Like, think of, he didn't just find the treasure, now he has it. Think of about, like, what happened to him, dude. It's mind bending.
Yeah,
it's the coolest shit.
And it was it was verified with the family, so it, like, they verified, yes, he did find it. But I was like, and he said he will not reveal where he found it, or how he you know, like the clues, or how he broke them down or anything like that. How crazy would it be though if it was you, Sean? You're like, I'm gonna go up to the mountains for a weekend, and you're just fucking walking around and like, what is this? And then you fucking $1 million.
Oh, and yeah, and since you don't know, now you just go on with your life, and now everybody just thinks it's out there for years to come, and you just don't. You're not a part of it. Wow. You're just living your life.
Oh my god. Okay, I want to touch on this really quick before we wrap up. People paying off Trump to get pardons. Can Trump pardon a family before charged with a crime? Who put that?
That was me. So apparently there's been rumors of Trump wanting to pardon his family because he, you know, sees, you know, possible indictments and things coming in the future. I don't know. I think we got to go to Legal Sean for this. I feel like you would probably know more.
How would you do that? How do you pardon somebody? Because pardoning them is getting rid of the charge, or pardoning them is removing the punishment for the charges, but it doesn't remove the charges.
That's what I'm saying. And how would you do that preemptively? You know, because you would be saying to yourself, you'd be like, oh, like if I was president, I'd be like, okay, Jay, Sean, and Phil can do anything they want. They can murder somebody, and
of course,
fuck yeah.
I think I was listening to one of the news channels, and I think they were saying that there's a way you can do like a kind of an open-ended pardon. But they said Biden literally his first day could come in and be like, nah, fuck all that.
Could he really?
I don't, again, you know how I am with fucking news and shit. I heard it on the radio. I'm sure I was half listening as I was texting and driving.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I don't think one president can undo another president's pardons. But I do know that they did find that people were trying to pay off Trump in order to get pardoned from shit that they had already been convicted of. So yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, it's so wild because, you know, people got mad. I mean, I'm sure people get mad every presidency.
What Sean?
Okay, well, you want the answer? Here's the answer.
For it.
So it's called Ex parte Garland, and it's from an 1866 case involving a former Confederate senator who had been pardoned by President Andrew Johnson. Extends to the pardon power from the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said this: the pardon power extends to every offense known to the law and may be exercised at any time after its commission, either before legal proceedings are taken or during their pendency or after conviction and judgment. Which means that what you just said effectively, Manny, because murder is a federal, I believe that's a federal charge, right? It's not is that a state charge or a federal charge?
I think that's federal. Yeah.
So he could say, I'm pardoning my son from murdering 50 people. That way his son could murder up to and including 50 people.
You know, if I'm taking this as legal Manny as opposed to PC Manny, from what I read in there or what I heard you say.
Oh, Sean found something. Hold on.
Has to be there.
Sorry, no, go ahead. I'll finish. Go ahead. Finish up and I'll say it after.
From what it sounded like, the charge has to be there first before he can do anything. Or no?
Nope. Because here it is. That's where I just odd too. And we can all understand this. First off, Gerald Ford pardoned Nixon.
Right.
And he hadn't been charged with anything.
That's what they said in the news thing I was listening to.
Okay. And the other example, which makes complete sense, is that Jimmy Carter pardoned hundreds of thousands of soldiers who dodged the draft.
Oh,
wow.
And obviously none of them have been charged.
Holy shit.
He just let them preemptively go. So now you can't put Giuliani in jail no matter what you do, State Department or whoever it is. So why go after him anyway is what he can say.
So, but I'll wrap up with this. Federally, yes, but state-wise, a president doesn't have pardon power over the state, from what I understand, because New York has quite a few from that he can't be pardoned from. So that would have to be like a governor or something like that would have to go in and do that. So,
so you're right. Just to wrap, because people are going to wonder about that maybe. So you're right. He cannot eliminate all risks. So Trump only has clemency power. By the way, it's not pardon power; it's clemency power. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Some types of offenses like tax evasion and financial fraud are offenses under both federal and state law.
Okay.
So Trump does not have the authority to prevent state prosecutors from pursuing charges over those kind of matters, and state prosecutors in New York are investigating various matters right now about his financial dealings. So there you go. Yeah.
Fucking
learn there something, you go.
Dude.
Dude, we all just learned some shit.
Oh, no,
That's
it's
crazy.
great.
Yeah,
now,
and if you guys want to weigh in on what you think and leave us a comment, or you have any conspiracy theories that you want to drop in on, or add your thoughts on, please send us those. Send us those thoughts and ideas and comments, and send them to hwppod@gmail.com. That's HWP.
Wait, Phil, what was that?
Well, that's hwppod@gmail.com.
All right. And plugs. Sean is at the Mechanable on everything. And anything you're plugging. Are you on the road this weekend?
I am. I'm actually going to check out a new club. I'm not going to be performing there. I'm going to check it out. It's called the Laughing Bonanza.
Oh.
It's in and it's in Southern Ohio, just off the 23. You take exit 15. But don't go this weekend. I'm just checking it out, and then I'll be announcing something on my Instagram soon. Thank you.
All right. I hear the audiences there can be hostile.
So I'll let you know on Instagram.
Manulus, you want to plug anything?
Nothing. You guys have probably ruined my improv career. So, yeah, just check me out on Love in Black and White, and everything that we do on the HollingsWorthless. Follow these guys, man, and please like, subscribe, and give us a comment if you can.
Yes, Phil Hellmuth.
You can find me in several recovery meetings around the Northwest. You can find me in the
You're probably doing as well there as you do on stage.
Find me in the unemployment line. You can find me on the corner jogging. So yeah, just be on the lookout. Phil Fox like the animal.
at like the animal.
At like the animal.
And I will be this weekend. I will be at Bridgetown Comedy Club in Oklahoma City, and I actually picked up another show on Friday. So I'm doing one show Thursday, one show Friday, one show Saturday. You can go to Bricktown Comedy, and if you want tickets there. And I'm at Big Irish J on everything. And until next week.
Oh God, sorry everybody.
And now here's me and Sean. Hi.
If a person fucking listens to this till the end, you deserve a prize. Your prize is to go to iTunes and rate or review this podcast. Give it 5 stars, you motherfuckers. Fucking say something nice. You fucks. I'm dying right now. You motherfuckers. I've been doing this fucking piece of shit for 5 years. I'm averaging about 2 fucking reviews a year. Go fucking write some, you motherfuckers. Oh, fuck.
That is the realest I've ever heard you.
God.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?